When you hear 911, you think emergency and rescue. Starting tomorrow, when you hear 988, think crisis and rescue.
1 year ago today, the 10-digit National Suicide Prevention Lifeline became a 3-digit number, reachable nationwide, available to anyone having mental health difficulties. That transition marked the end of a years-long process to establish the 988 Lifeline, but work continues to keep the service sustainable for the vast network of centers tasked with answering the millions of callers asking for help. Erielle Reshef reports.
In an unassuming building tucked behind a church in Belmore, New York, the Long Island Crisis Center is providing a critical service.
988 Lifeline, Monica speaking.
That's what callers would hear first at this center, one of about 200 across the country, fielding calls to the 988 National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. ABC News was not present during any actual crisis calls to maintain privacy.
We want people to know that we are a resource that is available to them, and you don't have to be suicidal to call.
It's been 1 year since the federal government relaunched the 10-digit National Suicide Prevention Lifeline as an easy-to-remember 3-digit number, a 24/7 resource to anybody experiencing a mental health crisis.
We're breaking down stigma. It doesn't take much to be able to reach 988 now. Call, text, chat. And it's working.
In the last year, crisis centers have responded to nearly 5 million contacts, seeing a surge in text, chats, and calls, while slashing the average time it takes to answer. But some officials acknowledge staffing and funding challenges have resulted in uneven answer rates across the country.
We're saving lives, but that doesn't mean the service is perfect. And yes, Congress needs to do more to provide additional funding to make sure that every state has an answer rate near 100%.
Democrat Seth Moulton co-authored the legislation to establish the 3-digit number with Republican Chris Stewart. As a Marine veteran who served 4 tours of duty in Iraq, the issue is personal. Veterans are more likely to die by suicide, and about 20% of the Lifeline's contacts were answered by the Veterans Crisis Line.
I know there are a lot of veterans out there who feel just the way I did a few years ago, which is I don't need help. Better give these resources to someone who's in greater need. But we've got to get the word out that everyone deserves help.
At the Long Island Crisis Center,
We have a lot of counselors that answer the phone from home, but we do have a couple of counselors here with us today.
many on staff also called to this work.
I know people who come from, who have had mental health challenges want to be able to give back, or people who feel like somebody in their life could have benefited from speaking to a counselor often come to us.
Danny Silverstein oversees the center's 988 program. She says the confidentiality of the Lifeline is key.
Why do you think people feel so safe calling 988?
Because we don't know them. Sometimes when we talk to those closest to us, there's a fear of how will my feelings make them feel. And when you call an anonymous and confidential helpline, that's not really part of the equation.
Allison is one of the more than 100 counselors who work or volunteer with the center. For her, the hardest part of the job is letting go after hanging up.
Whatever treatment plan or plan for themselves that they set for themselves, you kind of just have that hope that they're going to stick to it and remain brave.
The job is taxing, but she says it's worth the toll.
This is a very rigorous job. Why do it?
Across the board, the 988 counselors, they're very special people and they want to help. I want to help. It takes a very special person to answer 988 and an extremely strong person to be able to call the hotline.
For this week, Erielle Reshef, ABC News, Belmore, New York.
Thanks to Erielle for that. If you or someone you know is struggling with thoughts of suicide or any mental health crisis, free confidential help is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call or text the National Lifeline at 988. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.